I have a dream. These profound yet concise words spoken by Martin Luther King Jr. before a large congregation delivered on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial have left a lasting impact on the American society since August 28, 1963. The author serves as an inspiration or voice that leads the anti-discrimination community to evince racial injustice. His main purpose is to promulgate racial justice and address the inequality issues faced by the African American society during that period of time, with the hopes to amend the ways for the good of the country's nation. As an African American himself, the author has experienced this issue firsthand regarding the discriminations faced by the African American society, which helps him make use of his culture and context through language. In a way, language has the ability and power to influence people, to adopt opinions, behave a certain way, and much more. It is a powerful tool, especially when language is used properly at the right time and at the right place. To define and plant an idea to the audience helps gain power and public support. So in this case, Martin Luther King Jr. seized on his opportunity with the right time and the right place to make a public appearance in order to express his ideas to the audience. The speaker applies language effectively in a speech to address the issues of racial injustice. This made him successful in delivering a message to the audience, and in addition, he addresses his speech lightly with integrity. The literary feature that he captures throughout the speech includes imagery, word choice, repetition, and alliteration. The most effective literary feature would be repetition to the phrase, "I have a dream," intentionally emphasizing on it to plant the idea of his dream that he hopes to achieve for the good of America. He repeats this phrase over and over again to describe his hopes in different ways. Indeed, there are a bunch of repetition in phrases throughout the speech, like 100 years later or now is the time. Phrases that are each thought out to be used in order to demonstrate a greater meaning to the audience. This is an effective way to use language because it sends a stronger impression and it helps the audience think deeply over and over again towards the idea, so it gives a greater meaning to them. Another literary feature would be imagery, in which he applies to the speech for the audience to understand and relate better. It gives an impression to the audience as if they were there to see the imagery described. In return, it affects them by helping the audience to relate to the mood that Martin Luther has as well as other African Americans. The last literary feature would be the use of alliterations. Alliterations such as a great beacon of light, which means a new chance even if they face hard times, and this helps dramatize without over-exaggerating its meaning. In relation to its context, the year 1960s was at its peak of racial discrimination and injustice. It was that period of time too when civil rights movement began to rise, in which African Americans began opposing laws or customs regarding racial division and initiating equal rights between the contrasting races. Martin Luther sees this as an opportunity to solidify and fortify the civil rights movement. Regarded as the African American leader in the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King Jr. began addressing this issue as he witnesses and experiences himself. Luther King Jr. describes his dream to relate to Abraham Lincoln's own hopes for America. This shows how King made use of his context to demonstrate an even deeper meaning to the speech. By understanding his culture and context, King is able to make use of his language through his speech to attain solid response and a change of hearts in the American society. This has impacted the African society greater than imagined, as it has influenced the heart of Americans deeply, not only to the African Americans but the nation as a whole. This act helped him gain power and support throughout the nation and boosted the civil rights movement. He was able to reach out and address a strong message to not only Black people, but also to others who wouldn't have been able to hear out his racial injustice faced by society then. It was through the speech that influenced white people into realizing the injustice of racial division and the importance to act upon it.